not an ageist, I'm a generationalist. And the bottom line is that before you can take one step in sales and marketing in the real estate industry, you have to understand the giant generational gap that we're dealing with right now. There's sort of like this clash happening. I see it. The people I work for are baby boomers. The clients I'm trying to sign are Gen Z. They don't get along that great because they hadn't had the opportunity to work together, right? So Gen Z wasn't trained by the baby boomer. I see the attorneys, they fight with each other. The way the realtors work, they fight with each other. I see this generational gap taking place in every aspect of real estate. I realized that selling title insurance, or just selling period, the way I was taught by the baby boomers, the way I had been successful signing baby boomers, no longer worked for Gen Z. Baby boomer versus Gen X in real estate. Let's go. The baby boomer seems to put more time in building and creating that relationship up front, right? So for years, I would start working with a new baby boomer. I make a 3-hour block of instruction. We have lunch, and I leave that appointment feeling pretty good about where we are. Not Gen X. Gen X, they're not going to give me that 2-hour appointment, okay? They still want that relationship, but they're busy. They're texting, they're on the go, and they're generally not going to carve out that time. It is not that Gen Z does not want to learn. It is that the way they learn, the way they take in information is completely different than the baby boomer generation, all right? Their time frame, their attention span is a lot shorter. So that 6-page legal memo I would have typed 10 years ago for a baby boomer client has now turned into 6 shorter posts, right? Little graphics that are easy to take in and scoop up. Because your interactions and your relationship building efforts are more shallow, you need more of them. Enter social media. It goes down in the DMs. Gen X are way more likely to message you as opposed to answer the phone or even write you an email. I find the baby boomers put a lot more stock in those big brands, right? Like, so before I would say, I'm Jackie Medeiros from the F&F family of companies. And that's all I would have to say. The company I worked for, the strength, the size, whatever, I would stand behind that. Now enter personal brand. Gen Z is a little more distrustful of the big brands. They would rather have a face like this than a logo like this. But the fact of the matter is they do appreciate the two together, and that makes a stronger team. But it's really about the messaging. Just like you, I'm still trying to figure all this out. But one thing that I know for sure is that as Gen Z continues to come into our industry and become decision makers in our industry, you will see social media and digital marketing take off like wildfire. Honestly, in 2 years, I think the conversation will not be like, how do I post? It will be, how do I stand out when I post in a sea of posts? One surprising thing I find is that the more Gen Z friendly things I incorporate into my business model, the baby boomers love it too. They just don't know any different. They don't know there's a different way, a better way. Generally, when it comes to sales, I think if the content is quality enough to satisfy the baby boomers in a delivery method that makes Gen Z happy, then that's the home run. I've kind of come to the realization that the way my 11-year-old takes in digital content is the same way a 28-year-old would right now. So while today the 28-year-old is earlier in their career, in 3 years, 5 years, they will be the decision makers, right? So this will be the only group as the baby boomers continue to leave. Like and follow. We'll figure it out together.